What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the other side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest of cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shan Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
Chris Abacon.
What's going on, everybody?
And Daniel Acevedo.
How's it going, guys?
What's going on? So welcome back to the show. So for all our new listeners, right? So we had our old fan base. Definitely continue to tune in, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for all of your support and comments and all that good stuff. And now we have the Atlanta metro area, so 99.1 FM. What up? And then the Fairfax, DC area as well on Channel 10. So definitely continue to tune in. Monday, Tuesday are topics. Wednesday discussion. Thursdays, Ask a CISSP. I should have one up this week with Kenneth Ellington. It's already in the can. And then Fridays, everything else. Movies, books, games, all that good stuff. But without further ado, I'll give it to Shannon.
All right, everybody. So this article comes from HoustonPublicMedia.org, written by Colleen. The title of this one is Federal Cybersecurity Agency Says Voters Should Feel Confident in the Election System. So the reason this is coming out, right? For those of you that aren't paying attention to those commercials that are showing up at your house, those of you in, I'll say in North America at least, right? Because I know some of you might be international, right? But it's election season, right? Yeah.
I just saved my sticker right there. I just put it on. I don't know if you guys...
But yeah, so it's election season, right? And so it's come up before. You can go back even before 2016. Go back to the 2000 voting. When it comes to distrust in the voting system, right? Jeb helping out George, stuff like that, right? Being the possibly, right? I'm not gonna say that's what happened, but it hits harder for 2016 with us, right? And when I'm going through this article and I'm reading it, I did not realize this, and maybe because we talk about them so often, but CISA wasn't stood up until 2016. Till we had the misinformation and disinformation of that election system. That's when CISA got stood up. And because they've hit the ground running and the government has been getting their money out of them for sure.
Yeah.
Did not realize that. I was sure they'd been around forever, right? But CISA is out there putting the word out saying, hey, granted, there is a reason to worry about cybersecurity when it comes to election interference, right? Because I know when I go and vote, right, it's on the systems, the touch systems. It looks very easy. A cybersecurity guy, right? So, but there are some people that may not be used to that type of technology, but they're like, yes, it is safe. It is something that we use, repeatedly out there across the country. But they just want to reassure people, right? Because we don't want to have that narrative again around 2016, 2020 and things of that nature. So, they're just saying, hey, it's safe. And the reason this came out of Harris County in Texas is because of the issue they had with running out of paper ballots back in 2022, right? But again, CISA reassuring us it's safe. We'll see after all is said and done what comes out, what kind of new excuses can be made. If there's proof, there's proof. That's different than just saying it, but you never know. You know what I'm saying? But Daniel, let's start with you, man. What's your thoughts on this?
Man, this one is super timely. Like, I was talking to family and I was like, I just don't know about the voting system. I don't feel secure about it. Talking about all this cybersecurity stuff and what we do. And then I asked Ryan, hey, can you send the rundown so I can look at the articles? And the first one was this one. And I was like, did he read my mind? What's going on here? This is insane. Yeah, it's great. I will say, though, Jen Easterly, head of CISA, strong words. Hack-proof, I don't know if I would be throwing those words out there, because then I feel like they'll be like, okay, challenge accepted. Let's see how hack-proof this is. But, they're doing great things, right? Segregated and disconnected systems, I feel like for these kind of, devices or like this kind of on-bringing for election stuff is the correct way to go. I feel like a lot of other things in the government, high-risk systems like either hospitals or power grids and things like that should be segregated for added insurance. And I hope this actually kind of trickles over into those areas in the future to add more assurance. But, like my wife has a great phrase. I love her for a lot of things, but ever since we dated, she usually says simple is best. And this is a simple solution for what is needed, right? Hard physical security and a segregated system. It's simple, but it's very effective. But I don't know, Chris, do you think this will trickle over into other industries? Do you think our hands are in a safe place for the elections? What are your 2 cents?
I mean, for me, right, I have kind of anecdotal evidence because I went out and voted this past Monday, right? And here in Pinellas County, I actually went and Googled, hey, what do they use for systems? It's a company called Elections Systems and Software, ESS, right? And the actual model that they utilize is this 300 air gaps. They're not connected to the internet, just like the article was saying, right? And I'm looking, so I go into their website and I kind of look at what they've got, like from this security standpoint. And they have here a really cool, two really cool facts. One, of course, every one of their employees is security awareness trained, which is good. Like it's pretty much a general requirement for many government. We've been there, right? But they also have certified systems which require zero errors in 100.5 million positions consecutively, right? They require that level of scrutiny, right? It's pretty cool, and they work in conjunction with the Department of Homeland Security and CISA, of course. So I think the fact that we have CISA working with local governments on this, right? I think it should give the citizens of the United States just a little bit of assurance that, hey, look, they're taking the necessary steps to protect our data. And the fact that I think Jen Easterly I saw her on CNN talking about this, and she's been out there in various news outlets. I think she's been a good champion for this, just kind of to quell the misinformation, because a lot of it out there, a lot of that misinformation, right? It's most likely the outrage you'll see, like, oh, this thing has 1 million shares on X or Instagram or whatever. Probably misinformation, right? It's exaggerated, right? And you can kind of see by if you kind of look at a source that's, oh, this is their only viral post, right? And they have like 2 other posts. Chances are that bot was just created to piss off, or really, again, a divided United States is good for our adversaries. And how do we do that? With the information war. So that's kind of my thing. I think just from the election standpoint, I think we're doing a lot better, and I think CISA is doing a great job of proactively ensuring that there are measures in place. So Ryan, what are your thoughts?
I really agree with you guys, not only because of just the disinformation is just abound, man. Like people are just talking crazy. And I don't think it's ever changed, right? Like the quote unquote muck raking has been around since the beginning of American politics, right? Like there were laws against it when we were first established. Like you couldn't say things against your opponent that were false and things of that nature. You go to jail. And that has gone to the wayside our entire lives. So like I think what has made it more vocal and loud is social media. Like as the internet age came about, it went from tabloids like I haven't seen a tabloid in a long time, but like Bad Boy ran for president, things like that, like those type of tabloids at your grocery store, and then it kind of bled into every form you could think of on social media, especially your mega platforms, right? Your Facebooks, your Twitters, and so on and so forth. So it's not going to go anywhere. So I just hope that people are more informed. Like in Jen Easterly, we trust, right? Like I think she's been a boon when it comes to national cybersecurity. Like I like a lot of the initiatives she's pushed, and then just her whole vibe around how CISA does business has been pretty cool. So I am very confident that that won't be our issue. Won't be the voting machines. Our issue is going to be just people talking to their friends and their family and saying they saw something that they deemed to be suspicious that wasn't even suspicious. Just misinformed and dare I say uneducated masses. It's what's going to cause the issue after this election. I can't wait for this election cycle to be over. I agree with all of you. I'm tired of it already. So regardless of the outcome, I just don't want to talk about it for another 4 years, but that's not going to be the case, right? Like the entire, I don't know, like at least 8 to 12 years, we've been talking about how everything is upside down and everybody disagrees with one another. So I don't know where that's going to go, but I feel very confident in the voting machines. But what I looked up is that, like, yeah, we have really cool voting machines, but that's not across the entire country. It goes down to local jurisdiction. There we go, as well as budget constraints. How good your voting machines are, right? But on top of all that, though, is CISA and as well as local non-bipartisan establishments that make sure that voting goes the way it's supposed to go. So there might be a few oddities, right? That people have been voting since Lincoln, time, so it's nothing new. Anything that's going to cause a huge disparity in voting has been pretty much ruled out. So the reason why I picked this article is I kind of want to put people's fears aside, but I say that this comes out on Monday, and then Tuesday is the vote. So by Wednesday, God knows. I'm excited. I'm actually going to go vote on voting day, only because it's my daughter's first year, right? She's a grown up now in college, and it doesn't work out for her schedule to do early voting. So we're going to go on the day because she's excused from class to do so. So we're going to all go as
That's
a
awesome.
family, and it's going to be cool. It'll be her
That's
first
pretty
time.
cool.
So yeah, we'll see how everything goes and make sure everybody's cool at the polls. But yeah, we'll see how everything works out. But good luck to everybody out there. Please vote if you have decided that you're kind of on the fence. Just vote. I don't care
Yeah.
who you vote for, but please vote. Show your support to somebody. Put your voice out there. And yeah, keeping this up. So again, Monday, Tuesday are topics, Wednesday discussion, Thursdays Ask a CISSP. It'll be with Kenneth Ellington from the Ellington Cyber Academy, as well as Fridays are everything else, movies, books, games, all that good stuff. Hit up all the socials that go by our name, the other side of the firewall, the other side of the FW, or Ask a CISSP. Hit me up personally at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy on pretty much everything, but LinkedIn is my bread and butter. And where can they find you, Chris?
You can find me on LinkedIn under my name, Chris Abacon, last name spelled A Bacon.
And you, Daniel?
And LinkedIn under my name, Daniel Acevedo.
There it is. Stay safe. Stay secure.